Alrighty, good afternoon, everyone. It's been a little bit since I've done a tech thought post. So today, one thing that has been on my mind has been I've seen a couple tweets about going from design to PM, and some of them serious, some of them not so serious. And so, as someone who went from a designer to a program manager, posing as a designer, to full on PM at Microsoft, I just wanted to give my thoughts on that and my journey for anyone thinking about going that route who came from design. So, one of the things that I really struggled with was about a year ago, I made the full transition from from a designer to a PM. My title at Microsoft has always been program manager, but what I was doing up until last year was a very, very hybrid role. I was designing everything that I was sort of PMing. So if you go to webhint.io, I was the lead designer on that, and wasn't the only PM, but at that time the group of PMs who was working on that project all had coding skills, and then I had the design skills and the coding skills, and so we had this hybrid approach where we would sort of define our requirements and then go build it ourselves. And I've always kind of done that. And then last year I sort of had to make a decision about whether or not I wanted to stay doing design or sort of pivot into program management. Now, my role on the Edge team is different, and across every team at Microsoft, program management is pretty different. I personally love what I get to do because it ties in with some developer evangelism and working with developers and gathering feedback and talking to them and sort of helping to move the web forward. And so for me, settling into this path of a PM was actually really exciting to me when I think of the web as a whole and the product that I work on. And it's, again, this is my experience, and it's going to be different depending on what role you're in. But for me, the big thing was realizing that, like, I'm a designer and I'm someone who does like to solve problems, and with design you sort of do that visually, and moving into a PM role sort of allowed me to do that on a much, much, much bigger scale and really scale the impact I was having. And so for me, I really, the one thing I struggled with was thinking that if I became a PM, full-time PM, not pushing pixels or anything like that, that would mean I wasn't a designer anymore. And that is not true at all. I have discovered that my design skills come in handy and that I can actually offer a unique perspective in feature meetings when we're looking at features for the platform or the browser, and sort of my experience with user experience and just thinking about things from that design point of view actually makes me a valuable person in the room. And I get to tackle problems on a much larger scale. And so I love that. And so if you are thinking about maybe making the switch from design to PM, and again, PM is such a weird term, a broad abbreviation, because at Microsoft it's program manager, at other places it's product manager or project manager. It means many different things, but the thing that I personally love, like I said, is it allows me to look at problems from a much higher scale or a higher point of view and help define things for that. And I think that's why I love it so much because I am still solving problems. I may not be in my design tools every day, but there's still an opportunity for that in what I get to do. And again, unique to my situation, but I would encourage those of you who are interested in making the switch from not even design, but also developer to program management to consider it, because you do get to sort of think about the future of these products and things that you're building. And for me, it's even sort of opened up this interest in web standards and, sort of affecting the web as a whole, and contributing to that. And it's an exciting area. There's a lot. And again, it depends on where you go. I love the web. I work on the web. And so the types of problems that I get to tackle every day in my job really, really excite me. And sometimes I get to sprinkle that design. I do get to go in and push pixels again, and I still love that. But I do love sort of tackling those larger problems. So it's possible. And to make that switch from design or developer to PM, and the beautiful thing is, if you try it out, you don't like it, and you decide to go back to being a dev or a designer, your skill set is now so much more valuable because you are not just a designer, you're a designer who has those PM skills. And I think that can help advance you in your career, it's just great experience too. So if you're interested in that sort of path, I'd explore it a little bit more. It can be really exciting and a lot of fun. I feel very lucky. So those are today's isolation tech thoughts. Another day in quarantine here in Washington State. Gonna try and do these more regularly. Haven't been great with that. So until next time, talk to you all later.